the thing that you most want from a romantic comedy is you want the people to get together again at the end, or not again. You want to see the couple together, and they automatically bring that warmth, do you know what I mean, and that desire. So, yeah, it was always there.
I loved Ticket to Paradise.
Oh, thank you.
And also, I'm thinking, bickering exes for Julia and George always reminds me of Ocean's 8, or Ocean's 11, not 8. But anyway, what inspired the concept for you, and also them in these kind of,
Well, the concept was because my eldest daughter's 21, and so she's making her own choices in life, all of which are smarter than I would make for her. But so it's made me question, what I'm bringing to her life and what she needs me for, and what guidance I can offer, and what's hypocritical, etc. And so that was the genesis of the movie. And from the very beginning, as soon as I knew that it was a divorced couple, then it was always George and Julia in my head. And Dan, my co-writer, I remember calling him up and going, we should do this movie, and we should, because if you write about a divorced couple, you make a film about a divorced couple, you need to believe that they were once married. And obviously, apart from their sort of manifest gifts and gorgeousness and general brilliance, they also, their shared history on and off screen, like you say, takes you back to Ocean's 11. So you just believe in them. You believe that they have a past because you've seen their past. We've known about their past, you know what I mean? And so we can sort of piggyback on those movies, as it were. And also, that you want them. People love their friendship. And in fact, the sort of publicity of this has been based a lot around, when they do interviews, they do it together, and they're very joshy, and which is true and all real. There's no fakery about it. They are very, very close. But so the thing that you most want from a romantic comedy is you want the people to get together again at the end, or not again. You want to see the couple together, and they automatically bring that warmth, do you know what I mean, and that desire. So, yeah, it was always there.
Yes, I love them for resuscitating romantic comedies, but also you had to write it, so thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I did. Yeah, no, it's all there.
Who had the genius idea to have Caitlyn Dever as Julia Roberts' daughter?
Well, it was also written for her. I'd met her before, and we were friends already. And she's obviously, a once in a generation actress, and also the nicest. Have you met her?
Yes.
She's the nicest person. And so I remember meeting her at a party and saying, "I'm writing something for you." And she's like, yeah, right, because, that's always, it's like a chat-up line, do you know what I mean? Which it wasn't, obviously. And she's like, yeah, sure, someday. And so it was really nice to send it to her and go, you know that thing? I wasn't kidding. So, it was always her. And that was really nice because George and Julia already knew her work, obviously, and had huge respect for her. And so it was nice to... obviously, she did it without reading it, and not because of me. As soon as you go, do you want to be George and Julia's daughter? She's like, I'm in, totally in. That's great. And so, but telling them she was cast was a happy day. Do you know what I mean? They go kind of, oh, maybe he does have a clue.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So no, she's wonderful.
I was really surprised that it wasn't actually shot in Bali. Of course, maybe I just don't have good eyeballs, but I thought it was a great job of turning Australia into Indonesia.
It was a challenge. It was a challenge. I wrote them. Obviously, when you write the movie, you never think it's going to happen. So I just thought I would get a couple of research trips to Bali out of it. And so it was a rude shock, both that it happened and also that it wasn't going to be in Bali. And so it was a challenge. But, every movie has a million challenges, and it's how you overcome them, how you meet them and beat them, that is the fun. But it was, we had a crew in Bali. We couldn't go there because of the pandemic, but we had a crew shooting backdrops, and then we would then CGI them into the, and also then, change locations. And we had a very clever production designer and a very good location manager. So, we got lucky.
So if you were going to shoot for the moon with your next film, where would you want to film or pretend to film?
Well, I know the next one's in Alaska, unfortunately, in the dead of winter. And so it's going to be a different, if it happens, but it's going to be a different beast. Yeah, not quite so. There was a moment doing this, though. There's a boat coming in and coming into the gorgeous beach, and there's a big helicopter shot of the boat. And I was sort of like, I think I've done this before, which is always a sign that you need to, do something else. I seem to remember the shot from another movie that I made. Do you know what I mean? And so,
I need to shake it.
I need to shake. I need to go to Alaska. Yeah, in the cold. Mm-hmm.
Finally, I heard from Maxim that his father, on-screen father, was originally a consultant.
Yeah,
and then
he
got
was
cast?
a cultural consultant. Yeah, a gung, and we were looking for the guy and we couldn't find him, and it was all on Zoom. And then we're in a meeting and we were talking about weddings and customs and rituals, and he was talking and I was thinking, God, you're so handsome and charming and lovely. And so at the end of the meeting I said, would you mind coming out to my office? And he came up and I was like, could you just read that speech? And he started reading it, and I was like, "You're hired." And he was like, "What's going on here? What's happening?" And so I was like, "Do you want to be in the movie?" He's like, okay." And so, but yeah,
That's fascinating.
Yeah, but then the woman that plays his wife, Max's mum, was a passport officer from Brisbane. Like none of them are actors,
oh my gosh.
And so it's great and really good for George and Julia to work with people that, aren't. It was just great, fun.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. I had a great time.
Thanks, Tatiana. Appreciate it.
Bye. Have a good day.
Take it easy.